An alternate path unfurled in the galaxy, one defined by Anakin Skywalker's critical choice to believe in the words of ARC Trooper Fives. Fives, a loyal soldier, had risked everything to expose a sinister conspiracy entwined with the heart of the Republic. This revelation that inhibitor chips implanted in the clones were designed to force them to betray the Jedi shook Anakin to his core. For once, his innate suspicion, a product of years of war and hidden agendas, aligned with a truth that seemed impossible to ignore. Instead of dismissing Fives' claims, as events in another timeline dictated, Anakin listened. He recognized the desperation in Fives' voice, the weight of his words, and the undeniable evidence presented. To reject this revelation outright was to deny the possibility that something catastrophic loomed over the Republic. Anakin's ever-present mistrust of the Jedi Council amplified his conviction perhaps this revelation was the very thing that could explain their secrecy and his growing distance from them. But more importantly, it resonated with his lingering unease about Chancellor Palpatine. Palpatine had always been a figure of comfort and mentorship for Anakin, but the seeds of doubt had been sown. His frequent manipulations, cryptic words about power, and his ability to navigate every crisis with uncanny precision no longer seemed benign. With Fives' warning as the catalyst, Anakin decided not to act alone. He needed allies, powerful and perceptive enough to ensure this mission would succeed. He turned to Obi-Wan Kenobi and Mace Windu, knowing their pragmatism and insight would be critical. Anakin's words to them were deliberate and earnest. He presented Fives' testimony, the Kaminoan files, and his own experiences with Palpatine's increasing influence. He implored them to consider the possibility that their most trusted ally was their greatest enemy. Obi-Wan, ever skeptical yet willing to trust his former Padawan, urged caution but agreed to investigate further. Mace, his distrust of Anakin outweighed only by his deep commitment to the Jedi Order, saw this as an opportunity to confirm or dispel the growing shadow around the Chancellor. Gathering a force unlike any seen in the Republic's history, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Mace prepared to confront the truth. They enlisted the Coruscant Guard, a symbol of the Republic's might and unity, and their loyal clones. If Sidious indeed lurked at the heart of the Republic, his downfall would require precision, strength, and unwavering resolve. The assault began under the cover of night. The Jedi and the Coruscant Guard stormed the Senate building, their mission to apprehend Palpatine alive if possible, though all knew it might end in battle. Palpatine, as Darth Sidious, had anticipated a confrontation of this kind for years, but even his foresight faltered against the united force descending upon him. He underestimated the sheer willpower of Anakin, strengthened not by temptation but by purpose. Inside his office, Palpatine revealed his true nature, shedding his guise of benevolence. With a voice heavy with mockery and menace, he declared himself the galaxy's rightful ruler. He unleashed his dark power, a torrent of force energy that crackled through the room. His crimson lightsaber ignited, a weapon of legend and terror. The battle began a chaotic storm of light and shadow, of Jedi conviction clashing with Sith malice. Anakin's blade clashed against Sidious, his strikes fueled by a mix of righteous anger and the hope of redemption. Obi-Wan and Mace moved in perfect harmony, each strike and parry a testament to their mastery of the Force. The Coruscant Guard held the perimeter, their blasters keeping Sidious droid reinforcements and loyal operatives at bay. The office, once a place of political machinations, became a battleground where destiny itself hung in the balance. Sidious, for all his power and cunning, faced a united front that even he struggled to overcome. Anakin, in particular, proved to be his greatest adversary. With every clash of their lightsabers, Anakin felt his understanding of the Force deepen. He saw Sidious for what he truly was, not an invincible Dark Lord, but a broken man who had hidden behind manipulation and fear. Anakin pressed on, his strikes growing stronger and more precise, as if the Force itself guided him toward an inevitable end. But Sidious would not fall easily. Summoning the depths of his dark power, he unleashed a devastating wave of Force lightning that scattered the Jedi. Anakin, however, refused to back down. Channeling the teachings of both the Jedi and his own intuitive understanding of the Force, he absorbed the lightning with his lightsaber and pressed forward, his every step a defiance of the Sith's will. Mace and Obi-Wan regrouped, their combined efforts creating an opening that allowed Anakin to strike. His blade cut through Sidious' defenses, disarming the Dark Lord and bringing him to his knees. For a moment, silence fell over the room, broken only by Sidious' labored breathing. His defeat was undeniable, yet the weight of the moment hung heavily over Anakin. This was the man who had orchestrated the galaxy's descent into chaos, who had manipulated Anakin himself at every turn. To strike him down now would be justice, but it would also be an act of vengeance. Anakin hesitated, the teachings of the Jedi clashing with his own instincts. He turned to Obi-Wan and Mace, seeking guidance. Mace, ever resolute, moved to deliver the final blow, declaring that Sidious was too dangerous to be left alive. But Anakin intervened, his blade intercepting Mace's. "We have to be better than him," Anakin said, his voice firm but strained. "If we kill him now, we're no different from the Sith." Obi-Wan stepped forward, his hand on Anakin's shoulder. "He'll stand trial," Obi-Wan said. "The galaxy deserves to see the truth." Reluctantly, Mace lowered his blade, and together they restrained Sidious. The Coruscant Guard secured the office, their presence a testament to the Republic's resilience. Word of Sidious' arrest spread quickly, shaking the foundations of the galaxy. The Jedi Order, long mistrusted by many in the Senate, gained new credibility as the truth of the Sith Lord's treachery came to light. The Republic, though battered and scarred by years of war, found itself on the path to recovery. Anakin's choice to believe Fives had changed everything. The inhibitor chips were discovered and removed, saving countless Jedi from betrayal and death. The clones, no longer pawns of a sinister agenda, were hailed as heroes who had helped bring an end to the Sith's machinations. Anakin himself emerged as a symbol of hope, a Jedi who had faced the darkness and prevailed. He reconciled with the Council, finding a renewed purpose in rebuilding the Order and the galaxy. Padme, free from the shadow of the Sith, stood by his side, her unwavering belief in him a source of strength. As the galaxy began to heal, the echoes of this pivotal moment resonated across time and space. It was a testament to the power of choice, to the strength found in unity, and to the enduring hope that even in the darkest of times, a better future is always possible. The trial of Darth Sidious became a galaxy-wide spectacle, one that exposed the Sith's malevolent schemes and the extent of their infiltration into the Republic's highest levels of power. Evidence gathered from his office and his hidden archives on Coruscant laid bare the vast conspiracy he had woven. Every manipulation, every calculated move, from the initiation of the Clone Wars to the grooming of Anakin Skywalker as his apprentice, was revealed. The galaxy, fractured by years of conflict, found itself united in outrage. Systems that had left the Republic during the war reconsidered their positions, recognizing the manipulation that had pushed them to secession. The Separatist leaders, many of whom had been unwitting pawns in Sidious' game, disavowed their actions and sought reconciliation. The Confederacy of Independent Systems dissolved, its resources redirected toward rebuilding the galaxy. In the aftermath, the Jedi Order faced a pivotal moment. The revelation of the inhibitor chips vindicated Fives and the clones who had stood by him. The Jedi realized their shortcomings, their failure to detect the Sith Lord in their midst, and their inability to trust the soldiers who had fought beside them. This reckoning led to profound changes within the Order. No longer constrained by dogmatic traditions, the Jedi embraced a more inclusive and adaptable philosophy, one that valued individuality and emotional connection without compromising their principles. Anakin played a central role in this transformation. Having walked the line between light and darkness, he understood the dangers of both unbridled emotion and rigid detachment. His experiences allowed him to guide the Jedi toward a middle path, one that honored their ancient teachings while addressing the challenges of a changing galaxy. The Council, once hesitant to grant him full trust, now saw him as a beacon of the Order's future. The clones, too, found new purpose. No longer bound by the programming of their inhibitor chips, they were free to choose their paths. Many continued to serve in the Republic's military, their loyalty and expertise invaluable in maintaining peace. Others pursued civilian lives, their individuality flourishing in ways previously unimaginable. The camaraderie between the clones and the Jedi, forged in the fires of war, deepened in the years that followed, becoming a cornerstone of the new Republic. Palpatine's trial concluded with his conviction. Stripped of his Sith identity and political power, he was sentenced to a remote prison world, his abilities suppressed by advanced technology. The galaxy's leaders debated whether his execution would serve as justice, but ultimately they chose imprisonment, a decision that reflected the Republic's commitment to moving beyond the cycle of violence and vengeance that had plagued it for so long. Padme Amidala emerged as a key figure in the Republic's recovery. Her eloquence and determination rallied systems to the cause of rebuilding. She and Anakin worked tirelessly to restore the Senate's integrity, ensuring that it became a true representation of the people rather than a stage for corruption. Their bond deepened in this shared mission, their love a testament to the power of hope and unity in the face of adversity. Mace Windu, once skeptical of Anakin, found himself reevaluating his stance. He acknowledged Anakin's courage and insight, and the two developed a mutual respect that bridged their earlier divide. Obi-Wan, ever the steadfast mentor and friend, stood by Anakin's side as they navigated this new chapter together. The bond between the three became emblematic of the Jedi Order's renewed strength. The galaxy's recovery was not without its challenges. Pockets of resistance, remnants of the Sith's influence, and the scars of war created obstacles that required patience and perseverance. Yet the spirit of unity that had brought down the Sith continued to guide the Republic. The people, inspired by the courage of the Jedi and the clones, embraced the arduous journey toward peace. Anakin's journey became the subject of countless tales, a symbol of redemption and the power of choice. He was no longer seen as the chosen one destined to bring balance to the Force through destruction, but as the one who had achieved it through compassion and determination. This redefinition of prophecy shifted the Jedi's understanding of their role in the galaxy, emphasizing that balance was not a singular event, but a continuous effort. The Republic's victory over the Sith marked the beginning of a new era. No longer burdened by the shadow of the Sith, the galaxy began to heal. New alliances formed, cultures exchanged ideas and resources, and the dream of a united galaxy once again seemed within reach. The lessons of the past, hard-earned and deeply felt, shaped the galaxy's future, ensuring that the mistakes that had led to the rise of the Sith would not be repeated. As Anakin stood on the balcony of the Jedi Temple, gazing at the cityscape of Coruscant, he felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The galaxy was far from perfect, and challenges would continue to arise, but for the first time in years he felt hope. The darkness that had loomed over him, threatening to consume him, had been dispelled not through power or vengeance, but through trust, unity, and the belief that even the most daunting challenges could be overcome. The Force, which had once felt distant and conflicted, now flowed through him with clarity and purpose. Anakin knew that his journey was far from over. As a Jedi, as a husband, and as a father, he would face new trials and responsibilities. But he was no longer afraid. The choices he had made, and the choices yet to come, would shape the galaxy for generations. And for the first time, he believed they could be choices for the better.